Hi guys, I am Camille Roner and I wanted to talk to you for a little bit about why I love doing booths and some of the things that I've learned in the past couple years while I've done some booths. First of all, why do we want to do booths? For me, it was a huge help when I had taken a too long of a break over Christmas and I had no party leads. I feel like it was really hard for me to get parties and bookings, but I knew I wanted to keep going with my business. So I signed up for some booths and was nervous, but it is the thing that can jumpstart your business um, back into gear. So you can get fresh party leads, you can get new recruits from booths. You get extra sales, which means extra trip points, which is awesome. What I love is you can get your name and your business into a completely different area that you would say just like Facebook parties. You kind of stick to your friends and then you can move to different areas. Well, booths can give you to a completely different area of your town, which I love. It connects you to your community. It gives you if you're an EC, it gives you school and library opportunities, as well as I found a lot of preschool book fairs through booths, which is great. Networking is also an awesome benefit from doing booths. You can find other booths through your fellow vendors, and then also they're great customers that they are doing direct sales as well, and so they understand and they love it just as much as you do. So I found that booths, the vendors around you, are almost the best part of doing booths. Okay, so where to find booths? So I found mine mostly through Facebook. I look on my local events. I look at anyone that's advertising booths. I look at other vendors that I become friends with through booths. They'll advertise what booths they're doing, and then I can look it up through there. We already talked about the policies, so just a quick recap. When you are looking at booths, make sure you ask if they already have an Usborne vendor and also if they've had one in the past. That just helps prevent lots of problems for people. And then that way, for the next year, you're safe and you'll keep your booth for the next year. Newspaper. I'm trying to think of other places you can find out about booths. I've joined a lot of Facebook groups that are like vendor mix and mingle groups, and they'll advertise a ton on there. Okay, so consignment is one big thing that I know a lot of people are wondering about. Consignment is really awesome. It's a great way to get a bunch of books for your booths without having any money out of your pocket. You need to pay it back, I think at least a portion of it within 30 days. You start out with 500 maybe or $1,000, and then you can go up from there. I'm going to be posting in the comments a video about how to reconcile consignment. To order consignment, all you do is when you go into your Order Pro, you click inventory, and then from there you'll select your books and go through. It should all say 0, and then you submit it, and then the books will come, and then you'll reconcile once you've sold the books. If you have any questions, I'm going to be having a Q&A at the end. We can kind of talk more about it, but I'll be posting that tutorial about how to reconcile down in the comments for you. Okay, so first of all, I'm just going to go through some tips and tricks that I know, and some just like quick reminders. One thing that is good to remember is about booths is if you can lose the booth fee. So make sure this booth is worth it, and if you can afford to lose the booth fee. Some booths are like hit or miss. You never know if it's going to be worth it or not. So you need to make sure that your family is going to be okay if you lose this booth fee. Most of the time, I've never had a problem with making back my booth fee, but just in case, you don't want it to be a burden on your family. Okay, always carry pullback or wind-up books. I always do pullback just because they're a little bit cheaper, so it's an easier sell for me. But I always put them out front on my table where everyone can see, and I constantly am having them going around the book. It brings so many people in. Kids are obsessed with them. They come in and they like cannot leave my booth, and parents hate me almost every time because they feel like they have to buy it because their kids are obsessed. I sell out of my pullbacks every single booth I do. So that is one thing that I would for sure carry at your booth. I mean, it's been a huge seller for me, and they're one of our more expensive books, so it ups your sales quick. Okay, my other one is paper airplanes, and this is why we're giving one away tonight. I decided that I wanted to give one away because I'm hoping one of you will try a booth, and the winner will have the 100, I think it's the 100 more airplanes or whatever. Anyways, I always have one that I've had it since I started, so 2 years ago. I mean, there's 100 of them. I rip out at least like 5 or 6 pages and set them out front. They're like right by my pullback books. Um, and every kid that passes by, I ask them, hey, do you want to make an airplane while your mom is shopping or whatever? So kids will come over, they make an airplane, and I like probably 9 out of 10 kids that say yes to making an airplane, their mom buys them the book. The kids love it, and I'll sit and fold the airplane with them, and the kids think it's awesome. The parents think it's awesome. They see it as a great learning and fun activity book. So that's my other thing. I always carry like at least 10 of the paper airplane books, and then I have my one as my demo that I rip out pages and give out to kids. I sell out every time. Every booth I sell out of my paper plane books. Okay, so make sure you have kid stoppers. That's what I call. So I always have the pullback, the paper planes, and then I have bookmarks, stickers, and then sometimes I do like a coloring page setup where I print out Usborne and Kane Miller coloring pages, and then have like a box of crayons. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. If I know I won't have enough room, I don't do that. But I always have stickers, bookmarks, the paper plane, and the pullback. Those are like the best kid stoppers ever because if they don't want to make airplane, they're going to want to play with the pullbacks. If they don't want to do either of those, they're going to want a sticker or a bookmark, and it gets the kids to stop, which then makes the parents stop. And then you have a chance to talk to the parents and just say, hey, what are you looking for today? What can I show you? Have you heard of Usborne Books before? Have you ever thought about hosting a party? It's a great way to break the ice, get people to come over to your booth. And then once the parents can see and feel the books, they, fall in love, just like we do. That is one other perk about doing booths, for me at least, is it makes me remember why I started Usborne in the first place. I love these books, and when I talk to other people about it, and when they fall in love with the books, it just reignites that passion in me. I love these books, and I love sharing that with other people, and I love seeing them fall in love with the books, if that makes sense. And kids, too, when they come over and they are just head over heels for our books, that just makes me remember why I signed up for this in the first place. Okay, always have business cards. Hand them out to everyone, whether they buy or not. I always slip 2 or 3 in the bag when they buy books, just because it's always, you can't give out your info too much. And then even every person I talk to, as they stop, I give them a business card and then start talking to them. It's just a great way to keep your name in their minds. Always remember cash for change. I've forgotten that so many times. I have to run last second right before my booth to go get change. Book parties at your event. So as they're filling out their booking slips, hide your drawing slip box. That's what I've learned. Hide your box so they don't just shove it in and walk away. Take the slip from them and then go over it with them. Say, oh, I see that you said maybe. Would you want to book a party now? You get a free, most of the time you get a free Shine the Light if you book within a couple weeks. That's a great way to get bookings and have them commit that day. If they do say maybe, you can ask them, hey, what are you What are your reservations? What can I help you like understand more about hosting a party, or what are you nervous about? That way you can combat those reservations right away instead of them changing their mind after, like, oh, never mind, I shouldn't have put maybe. So it's just a great way to solidify that their party and get a date on the book. So always bring your calendar and always bring um, the drawing slips. Always fill it out for them. Oh, and bring a clipboard. That's what I've noticed. People will take your slips and they'll write on the books. And I hate that. It stresses me out, like they're gonna indent the book. So I always bring a clipboard for your slips. Let's see what else. I think that's. Oh, I make host packets beforehand. I always forget to give them out, but when I do, it's great. So when you book a party, I just give them a folder with a couple, like 10 invitations, my business card, a little host letter. I'm trying to think, a couple of bookmarks, just things that will get them excited about hosting. Oh, the hostess special. Anyways, just a little, like those 10-cent folders. I always get a bunch of purple ones, especially at back to school sales. They always have them super cheap. And then you can give that away, and then it gets them excited about hosting once you booked a date. Most of all, be enthusiastic. Your love for these books are going to show, and it's going to get them excited too. I've had so many people tell me, like, you love these books, I can tell, and it makes me love them even more. And I can't tell you how much that makes a difference. They will see that you love these books, and it will rub off for sure. It's contagious. Always ask, have you ever thought about hosting a party, and have you ever thought about doing what I do for a job? It's just a good way to break the ice, get them thinking about it. Even if they say, nah, it's not for me, then that's fine. But then you can just say, oh, well, who are you shopping for today, or whatever. It just gets them thinking about it, and maybe, who knows, maybe down the road. Also, when you're organizing your books, make sure they look nice. Like, you want them to look pleasing to the eye. I've found that when you show the full cover of a book, it looks prettier and it's more enticing. People want to come look at the books more than half-covered ones. Trying to think of any other thoughts. Bobby Giles has an awesome training. I will try and remember to post a link. It's in the back office training, and it's under audio or conference calls because it was hard for me to find. But it is amazing. It's awesome. I have listened to it at least 4 times. It's just a great, great training that she's done about booths. She is like a booth rock star. So if you ever want to like get more training or more ideas or more thoughts, go check that out. But I'm going to be going live later on, and if you have any questions, I'll try and answer them. And if I can't answer them right away, I will look it up for you. Thanks for coming. It's been so fun. I love booths. It's really one of my favorite things to do in this business. And I hope you all try one out and love them too.